Alright. Now let's see what challenge the game is going to throw at me next. What do we got next? Oh, invulnerability to cryo damage. Easy. Easy. Right? See, we go here. Easy. Easy. I've never seen an easier quest, an easier commission in my entire life. Paralysis lasts much longer, they're invulnerable to cryo damage. It's very simple. We're gonna actually put together an amazing team here. It is called... Freeze Ayaka. This is a very offensive version of the Freeze Ayaka team. Not quite as offensive as you might get with maybe Shenhe or... I don't know... Mona, but Kokomi works great. And Kokomi here actually, very important that she gives us energy. She really needs to have her burst up so we can keep the Karagi on the field. So we are going to give her the Favonius Codex. It's got a great substat with energy recharge. It also has a great passive ability where her crits have a chance to generate 6 energy. And because mine is R5, it happens every 6 seconds. It's really great. At R1, it's okay. It's 12 seconds, and it's only a 60% chance. But at R5, it's a 100% chance every 6 seconds. It's amazing. Now, normally, people might say, well, Ocean Huge Clam is obviously the best in Kokomi. That's where they're wrong. In this particular team, because you don't care about healing, because it's a freeze team, you're never going to get hit anyway, you really want to build Tenacity on her. Now, healing is still important, and you can still go for HP, but I would urge people, if they can, to maybe go for crit rate, maybe go for some offensive stats like attack percent or flat attack, and that's just really important. But once again, it's more important that you have a full set on Kokomi. It's really important you just have the 4-piece Tenacity set. The actual substats don't matter. The important part is that you have 4-piece Tenacity. So if we look here, right, I got a great crit rate helm, right? It's got attack percent, it's great. And it's got elemental mastery, which is perfect for a freeze team. And so this is really important. I've also got this amazing attack sands. It's got crit damage on it as well, which is very good for Kokomi. And do we have any... Here we have a great feather. It's got both crit rate and crit damage, so it's got double crit value right off the bat, and it's got energy recharge too. So we've created a very, very good build. The only thing left now is the goblet. And you've been wondering, well, what kind of goblet do you want on Kokomi? Well, as we all know, the ocean-cued clam has the ability to create the sea-dyed foam, which explodes based on healing. And since we all know that's physical damage, we all know that that's where the bulk of her damage comes from. So personally, I recommend a physical goblet. And obviously, I build crit on my Kokomi so that the bubble can crit and do even more damage. So we're looking at 4-piece Tenacity with a physical goblet, and we're looking at Favonius Codex for the weapon. Very important. Now, the second thing you hear, you have Kazuha. Kazuha was a character that was initially trashed on his release. Everyone was like, he's garbage, he's so bad. Why would you get him? He's 5-star Sucrose, he's so bad. Ayaka's so much better, Yoimi is amazing. Raiden Shogun's the best character in the game. You know, like, everyone was just like, he's such a bad character. But he actually has a very important role to play in any team. You'd be wondering, what could that be? Well, I am here today to inform you that you can do a wonderful job with your Kazuha if you build him as an offensive burst support with Noblesse. So we're going to go for a crit damage circlet with a crit rate substat on Noblesse, right? Easy, easy. We want to continue that. Obviously, because he is a burst support, you want to be using his elemental burst a lot, so we're going to use this energy recharge sand. It doesn't have the greatest substats, but remember, substats aren't important. The important part is that you get the 4-piece effect. And then over here, we have a couple different choices, but honestly, you see, you got double crit value. It's amazing, right? We're going for DPS. And then we go over here, and we probably want to balance out some of that crit damage with the circlet, so we'll go with this crit rate flower. Now, the real question is, what do we do here? Well, since we are building him as a DPS burst support, it's very important that we build him on attack percent. Obviously, attack determines how much damage you do, so an attack percent goblet is actually the best choice in this scenario. Once again, we've got our 4-piece effect. The substats really don't matter. We are trying a little bit harder. And actually, because we are building as a support, there are a couple different things. You could run him on Sacrificial Sword because he's not going to have much field time, you know, and he's the only animal in the team. He's going to battery himself. That is an option. But personally, I think Harbinger of Dawn is best. Because he is an off-field support, it'll be, excuse me, very easy to maintain the 90% HP threshold, so we're getting free crit rate and free crit damage. So if we look at his stats, right, you're looking at, wow, 64, 171. That's great. That's great. Amazing. Next we have Rosaria. Now Rosaria is here because we are running Freeze Ayaka. We want maximum damage output, and I don't have Shenhe. Alternatively, you could use Ganyu if you really wanted to. You could. But we all know that Ganyu is one of the worst characters in the game, and she's really awful. Not even the fact that you can use Stringless for her burst support will save her. She's just so much worse than Rosaria in every single way. So we're going to use Rosaria instead. And we're also going to be running Rosaria as a burst support. So we want to put Primordial on her, because it's a 5-star weapon, and we all know 5-star weapons are the best regardless. And she's also running Noblesse Oblige, and this is very important because both Kazuha and Rosaria are all-field supports. So Noblesse is obviously the best set for them. Doesn't matter, all-field support, just use Noblesse. It's easy. It's a very simple choice. You might as well just start grinding out that domain right now, because the entire game is basically filled with nothing but support characters, and there's no other set you'll ever need. It's easily the best in the game. And then we've got Ayaka. Obviously, Blizzard Share, great choice, right? Like, this is what people usually run. All left. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Aubergine. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm clearly right. Is that a joke? I don't know why would someone start yelling with the meta at me. I'm clearly following the meta. I'm just trying to let more people know how to play Genshin the most effective way possible. But yeah, but normally people play Blizzard Share Ayaka, right? Right, it's pretty, everyone knows how good Blizzard Share is. But what if I told you there was in fact a set better than Blizzard Share on Ayaka? And it's very simple, because there is. It's very simple. And it is called the Crimson Witch of Flames. Crimson Witch's Flames is great on Ayaka, because normally when you run Blizzard Share Ayaka, like right now, you run some sort of like, oh, I'm going to permafreeze the entire time, and I'm going to get the 15% or the 20% crit rate from being affected by cryo, and the 20% from being frozen, and then I'm going to get like the 15% from cryo resonance, so I can run really low crit rate and really high crit damage. Normally that's what people do, right? Was the pizza good? Hello, the Grady Simp. It really was. It was amazing. It was great pizza. It was, and by now it's probably pretty well digested, but that's not the point. The point is, how am I? I'm great. I'm explaining to everybody why Blizzard Share is actually Ayaka's second best artifact stat. We all know that it's pretty good. People like running it. People like Freeze Ayaka. But I'm about to introduce them to a wonderful artifact set called the Crimson Witch of Flames. And I will go ahead and equip all 4 pieces, and I will explain why it is so good on her. Oh, hell no, you're kidding? No, I'm being completely serious. Why? What do you think I'm kidding? I'm trying to inform people. So you can see, I've left the goblet, because goblets are hard. But you can see here that the set effects means, actually, I'm blocking it. You can see that the set effect clearly says that it increases overload and burning by 40%. But the important part is that it increases your vaporize and melt damage by 15%. And it stacks with your burst. For 10 seconds, max of 3 stacks. It's very, very good. Because we all know that vaporize and melt are the most cracked reactions in the game. They're easily the best. Why would I play Crimson and Ayaka? I'm explaining it right now. And so, we all know that one of Ayaka's greatest strengths is her cryo infusion out of her dash, right? That infuses her autos with cryo, and then you can charge attack, right? Now, what if I could tell you that you could actually melt her autos instead of freezing them? With Crimson Witch, you get that 15% bonus damage, and you can increase the two-piece effect, which really doesn't matter anyway, it's pyro damage, but that's not the important part. Now, it's very important that because we are running Melt Ayaka, the most important thing to do is run an Elemental Sands Goblet. Now I want to see your damage. I'm about to show you. It's the best Ayaka play you've ever seen. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but wait, Neon, how are you going to melt if you have Rosaria, Kazuha, and Kokomi as her teammates? And that's a fair point. It's a fair point. And normally, you couldn't, right? You need Pyro, unless they're afflicted by Pyro. But we're about to fight some Ruin Guards that are immune to cryo damage. So you might be thinking, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Well, that's because you can actually sub out one of these characters for the best Pyro applier in the entire game, fastest rate in the game, and that is Toma. And obviously, on Toma, being a shielder, you want to run him on full HP, right? It's very good for him to be built on HP. It's amazing for him. So, you want to run him on full Ocean Hued Clam, where you can really take advantage of all of that extra HP. And then obviously I was lucky enough to have an HP goblet, so I have the luxury of running this wonderful HP hat. And then, obviously, you want White Tassel on him, because we all know it's like the best 3-star polearm, and it's just got the drip. It increases your normal attack damage, which is amazing for Toma. Because we all know his normals... Well, I'm sorry, game. I'm sorry, I was busy explaining to everyone the best team they've ever seen in their entire life. We got this team. I'm going to go back and accept the bounty. The game decided to time me out. It clearly doesn't understand my greatness. And you can see, with this wonderful team we've got set up, we will be able to clear this commission in, I would probably say, 5 seconds tops, probably. It's going to be pretty impressive. They're all just going to melt, literally. Haha, funny joke. We just teleport here, and we're going to see 2 of them. It's going to be a serpent, and it's going to be a defender, I believe they're called. It's going to be the snake and the crab thing. And one more time, right before we get in. Oh no, it's not. It's the, Zelda-looking thing, the Triforce thing. Cool. We'll go over weapons. Obviously, we've got Iron Sting on here. Once again, we want Elemental Mastery because we're melting. Artifacts, Crimson Witch, once again, we're melting. Crimson Witch, obviously the best. Ocean Hued on Toma, because his HP needs to be chonky for his shield. And White Tassel, because his normal attacks are godly. We've got Kazuha and Harbinger, because it's easy to keep this. He's a burst support. He's not going to be on field. That's why we're running him on Noblesse. He's purely there as a burst support. And we've got Kokomi on Tenacity, because it's easily her best set. Every other set on her is absolute garbage. So, first thing we want to do is we want to do this so we can get our Tenacity stacks. Then, we just want to do this, right? And you can see, if we do this, look at all that damage. Look at all this damage. Like, you've never seen better damage in your entire life. And now, just like last time, we had to go through, and we have to cycle through our bursts. We had to get them back up, you know? We've even got Burning now, and just look at all the damage. Look at it. As we all know, attack is the most important thing in the game. Everything else is garbage. You don't need anything else aside from melt reactions in this case, because Ayaka is so bad of a character. She really depends on reactions to do damage. But aside from that, it's always better to just stack attack and everything. You convinced me? Well, I'm glad that I was able to convince people that this is truly the most efficient way to play Genshin. I know a lot of people out there would disagree. A lot of people think that National Raiden is one of the best teams, or like Fireworks, Freeze Ayaka, or some Morgana variation. I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily true. And that in fact, the best team that you can play with Ayaka is a melt team, with her as the melter. Basically, she can reverse melt all of Toma's shield procs. Look at that damage, it's insane. That's what I'm saying. It is amazing damage. You've never seen damage higher. And look at that. Like I said, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. They're all dead. Easy. Like, I don't know, it was just super simple. I don't know why more people aren't using comps like these. I don't know. They're too busy listening to catching mains and watching YouTubers tell them how to build their characters and what team comps do. And while that's all good on paper, what they don't understand is that truly in the game, you can't calculate everything. And that is why Melt Ayaka with Toma is truly the best team. 300 damage. That's crazy. Never thought I could do such damage. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's amazing.